I sure have been walking for a long time, but I don't mind. I sure hope the teacher and his student can finally meet this new king. I wonder who he is.
Hi boys and girls, it's day 23. We have been following the wise men as they travel to see the young King Jesus. Today, they are arriving at Herod's palace. But for fun, instead of listening to one of the wise men, let's hear from one of their camels instead. So without further delay, here's the camel.
I sure have been walking for a long time, but I don't mind. My long legs are good for this sort of thing. Before this journey began, I was living in the stables of a king in a land far, far away. I loved having people visit me, and I especially enjoyed carrying the king around his kingdom. Then one day, the king told me I was going on a long journey to a distant land. I would carry an old teacher who was entrusted to take a whole bunch of treasure to a new king in Israel. I had no idea how far away Israel was, but I was about to find out. Once we left the palace, we followed a striking bright light in the sky as we traveled across the dry and sometimes lonely desert. Luckily, my big broad feet are good for walking across gravel and sand. All the while, I was bearing the old teacher on my back and leading the other camels on the way to visit this new king. Being a camel, I didn't need much food or water. The large humps on my back store all the energy I need for a long journey. As we traveled through the deep valleys and tall mountains, and I took in the amazing sights, I kept blinking my long eyelashes to keep the sand out of my eyes. Eventually, we came to a huge, wonderful city. There, the kind teacher patted my head and assured me that our journey was nearly over. He and his student went into a grand palace to speak with a king. I was sure this was the king, but when they came out, the teacher said we still had a little farther to go. I didn't mind. We saddled back up and set off for the little town. The star led us toward a small town just down the road from the big city. After walking for months and months, my feet are starting to tire and my humps need nourishment. While the teacher and his student have been very kind to me and the other camels, I could use some rest. We are almost at the little town now. I sure hope the teacher and his student can finally meet this new king. I wonder who he is.